You know, choosing a race can be difficult. You need to find something that's motivating enough to get you out the door every day, while also reconciling your ambitions with your ability. And then on top of that, you've got the logistics of finances and work and family commitments that all need to come together in order for it to happen. But if choosing a race is difficult, then knowing exactly how to train for it is downright daunting. As a self-coached athlete, my approach has always been to dial into the specificity of the race requirements first and work backwards from there. My hope is that this approach leaves me with enough specificity in my training to leave me in the best shape possible. You know, last weekend we went down to check out Red's Backyard Ultra. It's a local backyard ultra event that is run just half an hour down the road from us. It's the first time I've been to one of those events, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool. The curiosity has been spiked, and absolutely I see myself participating in one of those one day. But the race I've entered is quite different. A Hounslow Classic. 42 kilometers with 2,500 meters of vert in the Gross Valley in the Blue Mountains. Yeah, I think it's gonna require some fairly specific training in order for it not to feel completely horrendous come race day. I think your first port of call is nearly always gonna be the event website. There you're going to find all the important stats such as distance and elevation, as well as an elevation profile, which is going to give you an idea of how and when that elevation is accumulated. And more often than not, it's going to give you a description on the types of trails that you're likely to encounter. So I actually already knew a little bit about the Hounslow Classic. I know people that have done it, and it's an Australian icon. It's been on my bucket list to do for a number of years now. But looking at the website now, yes, the reality is that the trails are steep, there's lots of stairs, lots of technical, scrambling, single track, and very little else. But, lucky for me, I have at my disposal, just up there in fact, all of the possible trail options you could imagine. I think what it means is that over the next few weeks I'll start steering clear of the flatter fire trail running and spend a lot of time on the technical single tracks and the stairs that go all the way to the top of that thing. I won't go into great detail here about the particular runs and sessions that I plan on running, but all of that stuff is available on my Strava that's linked below if you're so inclined to check that out. So, winter in Australia is like well and truly on the way out. I think officially there's still like a week left, but yeah, things are warming up, but in my current trend of trying to be as specific as I can, to be as prepared as I can for the Hounslow Classic, I'm putting some layers on today. It is potentially going to be warm up in the Blue Mountains in a couple of weeks' time. Last year it hit nearly 30 degrees in the valley, and I don't typically do well in the heat. And so the current training theory is that in order to prepare yourself for the heat, you just got to make yourself hot more often. So just gonna head out on the trails for an easy hour in the bush, but with a long sleever and a wind jacket on, I think I'm about to get sweaty. Okay. Oh, have a go. I'm so sweaty. Yeah, an easy hour in the bush is made so much less pleasant by wearing 3 layers and sweating up an absolute storm. But yeah, I think preparing yourself for the expected conditions on race day is important. Particularly when you don't do well in the heat like me, getting used to getting hot is probably not a bad idea. It does make me want to choose races that are run in the wintertime though. This sucks. Ugh. So I've put a fair amount of work into trying to understand exactly what I've got myself into for this Hounslow 40k race. and I've tailored a training program to hopefully leave me in the best shape possible for that race. But while it's not feasibly possible for every single race that I do, the best way to dial in specificity for a particular race is to go and run some of the course. It's Thursday afternoon and I jumped in the car heading up to the Blue Mountains for a little reconnaissance mission. The plan is to run some of the Hounslow course this evening, crash in my car tonight, and get my long run done on the Hounslow course tomorrow. There is no better way to familiarize yourself with a course and be specific with your training than to run some of the course. So here we are, that's the plan. It's gonna be fun, looking forward to it. Nearly forgot gloves and I think it's gonna be cold. So last night was fun. Scoped out some cool trails up near the Hounslow course. Not actually the current Hounslow course, but had a good time with Joe and Mike. Grabbed some pizza with them, then actually crashed at Mikey's place instead of the car, which is a good time. But up early this morning, just gonna go grab some coffee and hopefully get a long run done on the Hounslow course. I think I lost the trail. Oh no. Aha! Hunt him! Whew. Oh man, what a day. The Gross Valley, that hits different. 26 Ks, 1600 meters of vert in like 3.5 hours with 130 grams of carbs too. It feels good. Finished feeling strong and nice to know what's in store for me come Hounslow weekend. It's only like 3 weeks away now. Sometimes I think ignorance is bliss, that running a trail for the first time is kind of good. You don't know what's coming up, and so you just kind of take it as it comes. But I think when it comes to a race you really want to do well in, knowledge is power. So glad I made the trip up here. I'm glad I've seen as much of the course as I could. I'm looking forward to racing in a couple of weeks. But there's something else that hits different when you're up in the Blue Mountains after spending 4 hours in the Gross Valley. Burger and a beer, that'll do. And that's another week all done. 115 Ks, just shy of 12 hours, just shy of 4,000 meters of vert, and more importantly, that running was accumulated on race-specific terrain for the most part. training's going well. I'm looking forward to it. A couple more weeks of that, and then Hounslow Classic, I'm coming for you. It's actually a wildly stacked field, and I'll just be happy to get that monster done. But looking forward to it nonetheless. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.